Welcome to the Weekend Stakes Preview Show. I'm Scotty McKeever. I'm your host tonight, and we're diving into the weekend's biggest stakes races with our expert analysis, top picks, and everything you need to know and to stay ahead of these stakes races coming up. We're covering some of the top stakes races. Of course, my partner, Justin Sampson. What up, brother? I got the whiskey. How about you?
I have a LaCroix.
Oh, okay. All right. That's close.
Yeah. I usually have wine, but Steph not here tonight. Steph, my girlfriend, always usually here on Thursdays, but she's at home tonight. She already had a commitment, so no wine. Maybe later. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, sometimes you have these days that nothing really sticks out that was bad, but you just know that you need it and you want to loosen up and have some fun. And I just I think having fun during these shows is important. Like last week, I don't know, all the shows seem to have a really good energy, Justin, like really, really good. And hopefully we can bring that back. Whenever the chat room goes crazy, that's the most fun. And so I'm looking forward to covering these races, and hopefully we'll find some winners. You've been on fire, by the way. Your notes have been incredible. Your picks on the weekend previous show have been insane. How comfortable do you feel going into this weekend?
Pretty good. Big Fairgrounds weekend, though. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the LeCompte yet, though, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. What's up, Dan? What's up, Jay? Welcome. And anyways, if you guys have any questions or any of these stakes races that you want to talk about, just bring it up. We'll cover it. And don't forget, tomorrow we've got the Road to the NHC with 2022 NHC champ David Harrison. He's always a lot of fun and has some great insight. And what else, Justin? What else is going on with EquinEdge or going on in the community right now?
Well, you mentioned it partially. In exactly 2 months from today, we will be in Las Vegas. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating because I'll actually qualify for NHC in the last chance on 2 weeks or 2 months from today on a Thursday. So I know a lot of people are going to be there. That's going to be a lot of fun, I think, for the community. You've had a lot of people qualify with you and David on the show. I think there's a lot more people in the community of EquinEdge starting to play tournaments we've seen. And I'm very excited. Whether I qualify or not, it's going to be a great trip.
It's getting close because I'm already on a diet. So I'm eating protein, healthy fats, no sugar, stuff like this. Is the first sugar, this whiskey that I've actually had in 3 days. So I'm like, okay, it's getting close. It's time. I got to get my act together. I can't be going out there walking around that room with lard ass. You know what I mean? I gotta be ready. So I'd be like, man, Scotty's been enjoying this last year. No, I can't go out like that.
Well, it's going to be fun. I think that it was such a great trip last year. Well, I guess I've been 2 years. I didn't qualify the first year and then qualified last year, but it's such a great environment. The community, whether it's EquinEdge or horse racing, or bringing everybody together like that I love it, Scotty, because it's so competitive. Yeah. And that's just, I think, in me, just personally, like I'm competitive, whether it's sports or horse racing, but you get 1,000 people nearly in that room and 100 and some races a day. And there's a lot of craziness that happens.
Yeah. Hi, Cindy. How are you? I don't know why. And we had the best time last year, didn't we? We went out. I remember we went to the Cosmo and we had the best time. Speaking of the Cosmo, there's my man, Rodney. Rodney was there. He came. He wasn't in the tournament, but he just came and he had the best time. I don't think he was. Rodney, were you in the tournament last year? I can't remember now. But Rod doesn't matter. Rodney just comes with Linda and they come and have the best time. We played blackjack and I know I will never forget that. We had the best time. I was down. I'll tell the short story. So Anna doesn't really like to gamble. She doesn't like to spend any money. So as you know, and Ryan's there and you're there and Steph's there and Rodney's there. Linda's there. Who else was there? Who am I missing?
Your buddy that lives in Vegas was there. What was his
Danny
name?
Was there. Danny
was there.
So Danny's laugh. I don't know if you remember his laugh, but Danny laughs like this. That's Danny's laugh, right? It's just, it could have been a sitcom, could it not? And so I go over and Anna says, you're getting a marker, right? You're only getting one marker. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to get one marker, no problem. And then Danny, who's been my best friend for 45 years, goes over and tells him, he says, "Hey, Anna, you better come over here and see Scotty because I'm losing." And I had 3 or 4 markers out, right? I think, right?
Yes.
And she looks at me and she goes, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing great. And I just got this marker here. I'm down a couple of bucks." But then she doesn't say anything because she doesn't want to get Danny in trouble. But then the classic comeback. And then
you went on a heater.
Went on a heater, could not lose, and we're just high-fiving there. I was that guy and I never had, because I don't usually get drunk. I was probably drunk, wasn't I?
Yeah, we had a few drinks.
Most I usually allow myself to get a little buzzed, but I was drunk, and I went on a heater, and we were just like, I was high-fiving, breaking Rodney's hand. You remember that? Rodney's like, he's afraid to put his glass up there because I was slamming his hand so hard, but that was a great memory. We had the best time. And I guess the point of this story is that I think we're going to have a great time this year. It's like we've got, David, we're going to be hanging out with David Harrison a lot. And I think Matt's going to come too. And so we're going to see everybody out there. So it's just, it's what it was like, Jet. Oh, man. How's your hand, Rodney? It was so much fun. But anyways, if you haven't qualified and you want to try, join us tomorrow on the road to the NHC with David and I, and we're going to show you, we're going to handicap those particular races for the feeder and also the qualifiers. So we'll have a good time. And if you don't qualify either way, come out, join us, get a room.
Well, you can qualify on Thursday. I'm going to try.
Right. Thursday
Many people are still going to try.
You did last year.
Yeah. Almost got 2, which was almost amazing. I was very close. I think I was like 2 or 3 spots away from the second one.
Yeah. And then David won the Silver Sunday tournament. And then I think I got 7th in that tournament, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did really well.
So it was good. And then I was in the lead much of this year in the NTRA. And then I got frustrated because I had like 4 or 5 finishes that were in the top 10%, and in some cases the top 5%, and I got no points for that. And then I kind of lost my, I think I'm in 24th
interest
right now. Yeah, it kind of frustrated me. It was I felt like I was chasing at that point. You know what I mean? So but anyways, hey, listen, we got a lot to cover. We got Chris in the background there producing tonight, and big shout out to him. Before we get going, we're going to start with race number 8, the Busanda Stakes, but I do want to give a shout out to our team. I want to, Riley, Amy, Brad, Ryan, who else do I? Anna, of course, and we've got who else am I missing? We've got
what about Ramey?
Malcolm Ramey has just been such an amazing addition too, with all the algorithms and stuff. We're on the cusp of creating some pretty amazing algorithms to the team. And we got the qualifier for the Pegasus tournament. I've done pretty good in that tournament. I have a 3rd place finish and a win in that tournament. And I think part of that is I really started studying a lot of the horses here at Gulfstream Park, right? Knowing the configuration on the dirt and the turf and the synthetic and all that. But big shout out to the team. Pretty amazing team we've got there, and we're building some groundbreaking stuff here for the horse racing industry. So, all right, race number 1. Let's get going. Justin will run the race, and why don't you talk about the horse that you like in here?
Yeah, I ended up race 8. Let me make sure. I have a lot of the same number on a lot of my picks, which is funny. But I ended up landing on Sharp Smile, Scotty. I mean, I know that Sharp Smile just won last out to Breaker Maiden, but this race I didn't necessarily think it came up all that strong, so I thought it was a good spot for her. I mean, it's Brad Cox and Manny Franco. It's a little bit of trouble with this race, but I think the price is right. I definitely, if I was playing a horizontal bet, I would probably spread a little bit, but I thought she made sense. I mean, one last out, she kind of improved. She now stretches out 2 turns. Shouldn't be a problem at all. I mean, she's been sprinting, but the GSR is kind of right there. So, the win percents are all kind of clustered, Scotty, but I just thought with Manny and Cox here inside speed that she might be tough, but it's not an easy race, I would say.
No, this is a very difficult race because I wanted to like the one as well, but I can't get away from that 5% of horses that break their maiden come back to beat winners. And so I had a hard time with that one when I was looking at this race. The 9-hole, not exactly a great place to be, although it looks like the 9 has some speed if we sort this properly. You can see, but the 9's going to have to be used early. It is a horse to watch. It's the top pace, top win percentage, EE second pick. Those horses win about 30% of the time. So a little bit more than the win percentage for this horse. Then I was looking at the 5 horse, the EquinEdge long shot, and I thought, very interesting. The horse did not run good last time out, and that was a grade 2 race. But the SOR in this race came up tough. So I think this race, this non-graded stakes race came up tough. And really in the last 3 races, this horse has kind of been an also-ran. So it was interesting to me when the EquinEdge long shot could have chosen any horse that it wanted to, right? And instead it chose the 5. I just think that's interesting,
But it comes from tough races. I think that's probably part of it. Maybe tough strength of races. Because I looked at the 5. I mean, Fletcher, Carmouche hits a fairly good rate with Bob Fletcher, 23%. So you're going to get a great price. You would 100% have to use that horse, in my opinion, in any type of horizontal bet. And also, like, I think it's a player here. I don't disagree with you. There's a lot of runners that just won, right? Like the 3. Keep going.
Well, I was just going to say the 3 horse is another maiden that just broke its maiden. It only beat 4 horses, for God's sakes. But it's Chad Brown, right? And if this horse was all that, wouldn't Flavian Pratt be up here riding this horse? You know what I mean? Like this is such a tough race. And then I wanted to like the 7 horse, who's still a maiden, who's got 2 second place finishes, but the horse is 15-1 on the EE morning line. I don't like that at all, and only 4%. So it's 2 different algorithms saying that this horse isn't all that much. This is an absolute grab bag. I think a lot of times what I look for, Justin, is horses that break their maidens and then come back to run good in against winners. And so look at this horse. Look at this 8 horse, Beanie and the Rose. This horse broke its maiden in its second. It almost won its first start. In the second start against 11 horses, it won by 7 3/4, and then it came back to beat Optional 80 at 50 cents on the dollar by 6 1/4 lengths. Why is this horse only 9% to win?
Hey, KD riding too. Katie Davis is riding, so kudos to her. I'll have to shoot her a note. But I mean, 9%. I mean, this is tough. It's probably one of the tougher stakes races we'll cover. I mean, so yeah. I mean, look at the finish though, Sky. I think the race sim kind of shows it, right? I mean, you got 6 horses right up there within a length, basically. So yeah.
And look, the 5 horse actually added blinkers last time out. And it didn't improve. You would think they would take the blinkers off, but they don't. I mean, this is, I don't want to. We got a lot to cover tonight, and we didn't want to spend a lot of time on here. But I also want to be able to find something where we can, maybe help people to narrow down in something. I think the 5-2 EE morning line doesn't influence me because it's Chad Brown. I'm not going to get influenced by that in any way, right? Then you have Wesley Ward, Brad Cox, Todd Pletcher. You know what I mean? Those are going to be the lowest of the morning lines.
Yes.
Then if you even think about covering another horse besides them, are you crazy? It's Chad Brown. It's Brad Cox, Wesley Ward. Like you have to figure that one of those horses is going to win the race. You just have to figure that. And so for those reasons, look at Brad Cox and Manny Franco. Manny Franco is only a 13% jockey. I always say that Dylan Davis and Manny Franco are like the best jockeys that have the lowest win percentages. But look at the jockey trainer combination with Brad Cox and Manny Franco, 31%. And if that doesn't tell you how important the trainer is, you got to get into a good barn that has a lot of winners and a lot of nice horses. And when you do, you're a different jockey. I don't think, because Manny Franco's in one of the toughest colonies, I don't think he gets the opportunities. But when he does get the opportunities, look what he does with it. Because Brad Cox only 22%, but with Manny Franco, he's 31%. So Manny Franco is a very, very good jockey. And for those reasons, and saving ground on the rail, and because this is just such a wide open field, I'm going to actually take Sharp Smile as well.
Yeah, and Bluegrass Stan and Scotty Wiz asked a question too in the chat, but Bluegrass Stan is, pace wins 9 furlongs at Aqueduct, and I believe I looked at that too. So, and Manny going to be right up there. So I'm with you. We're on Sharp Smile. I mean, it's going to be a good price, Scotty. You're probably going to get 4-1, 5-1. So.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I think it looks really good. It's had 3 races. The way we should be looking at this race is maybe this horse has got experience. It's improved. It's improved in every start. So, hey, Wiz, no, I'm still testing the GSR. It's showing a lot of promise, but it needs a lot of work. And it's not ready yet. And Oldie's like, hopefully Manny doesn't jump off. What's up, Mike Saletta? Mike was in the coaching class today. I gotta love Mike. He's just the best guy. We have the best community, don't we?
Yeah, I'm doing a little one-on-one coaching class tomorrow. I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about that. You know what else is? When I first started doing shows, that's how you and I met. That's how me and Chris met. That's how me and Oldie met. And I don't know how you did it or what made you think about it, but we had a winner, and you type in the chat, boom, capital BOOM, boom, and that stuck. And so we're gonna, if you come to the NHC this year, we're gonna give you a shirt, and you're gonna get the boom shirt. And so, anyways, we're working on that right now. But we're gonna have hats, pens, shirts. What else we got? That's about it, I think. Right? Coffee. We're gonna have coffee mugs too.
Yeah. And Cindy, your question. I think the 6 is a player here. I think there's probably 6 horses in my mind that could run here. Maybe even a 7th. I don't really like the 2-4-7, but yeah, Ruth. I mean, it's Fletcher Gomez. I mean, one last out, bred really well, stretches out.
I mean, it doesn't get me going. It just doesn't get me going because look, 11% jockey trainer combination, and he uses Carmouche Fletcher, and they're 23%. And look, Irad Ortiz was aboard both the 6 horse and the 5, and. So who does he put on the 5? Carmouche doesn't go on the 6 horse. Carmouche goes on the 5. So, I mean, it's not the only reason why, but I would probably – and the 5, look at it, the EquinEdge long shot could have used the 6 horse, but it used the 5. Right? So, great day over at Fairgrounds today with your notes and good day. And also – Dan's right. The Scotty long shot, the EquinEdge long shot has been just destroying since how long has it been? About 3 weeks now we put it up, and it's just been.
I see it win like 2 or 3 races on a card sometimes.
I know. Yeah. It's just destroying it. It's just been amazing. Anyways, super excited about that. Okay, we're good. We both on the one horse. Where are we going now?
Back to the Fairgrounds. Well, over to the Fairgrounds.
Over the Fairgrounds, race number 6, correct?
So I handicapped these on the turf because I'm praying, because we ain't been on the turf much at all in the last week and a half. The weather is going to be highly questionable. But I handicapped it on the turf because I'm going to try to bring some good luck, I guess. Looks like, they're not calling for a lot of rain though. So they are calling for some rain, but it's not going to be a lot. I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow because it should be fine. They didn't race on it today, but it just can't take a lot of water is the problem of that turf course. Check. But Nobles this year this is a big Scotty Noble. Oldie picked, and Oldie's in the chat, but Oldie picked Nobles to beat Patches. Remember when Oldie and he was right. So kudos to Oldie. But Oldie did pick Nobles here. I will tell you that is.
I think but he betrayed Patches. I mean, it's just not right. No, it's not. And if he would have chosen Patches would have won that race. And so I think the connections of Patches should be paying Oldie to pick Patches to win. But no, it's not right. But top GSR here, 39%. I think one of the things we would need to be a little concerned about is that the morning line on Nobles is 5-2. So we need to look closely. And you can see the 7 horse uncashed is 9-2 EE morning line for an odds makers 15-1 morning line. But let's look at this horse. This is crazy. Top
I
pace,
think
top win, top SOR, top GSR, lowest EE morning line, and top pick. I mean, I don't know that it gets any easier than that.
Mr. Dave Duncan, good to
What's
see
up,
you.
Dave?
Well, I know it has like every metric, Scotty.
I know, right? By the way, Dave, shout out to Dave. Is killing it online. You're doing such a great job there on Twitter, Dave. Super happy for you, picking winners constantly, hitting these exotic bets, these horizontals, and we love having Dave on the EquinEdge community for sure. Can't wait to see Dave. Dave, we want you to sit at our table with us this year if you don't already have a table. We're putting together an EE table with David Harrison, me, the guys, when Justin and Oldie qualify too.
What I put Noble second, Scotty. I don't know. There's a lot of speed here. I don't think that Nobles needs to lead, but it's also not all that easy to. And I might have cut out for a second, but there's.
No, you didn't.
I mean, I do agree with Oldie that it's a weak field, Oldie. So you and I do agree there. I think from that perspective. So it's not easy to stock from the inside, though. Sprinting at Fairgrounds is the one concern I would have. Is the only concern I would have. I ended up on Demolition Duke as the favorite because I want a little bit of price, and I'm gonna want to play against Oldie is really why. But I think Demolition Duke has a shot. There's a lot of speed. Demolition Duke's going to be coming off the pace sprinting, and that's not easy. But Demolition Duke's burned a bunch of money. But Jose rode 2 back, and this horse had the best strip it's had probably in its career, to be honest. It only has 2.
But that was a 62 SOR. I mean, this horse,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
But so that's it to me, the Scotty picks haven't nailed Scotty, but I went 4-1-11. So, but the one going to be tough.
I just don't believe for a second that Demolition Duke is even in the same vicinity of level as Nobles. I don't know why Demolition Duke is the second pick, but it must be the real deal right now, because first of all, it's been in the money in 9 of 12 tries, but it's not only the EquinEdge second pick, it's 5-1 on the EE morning line. But it doesn't even, it's the classiness of Nobles compared to Demolition Duke is night and day. This is where the systems, the algorithm see stuff that we just don't see. I do want to real quickly, Justin, and we can get back to it. I want to give a shout out to Mark. Mark is fairly new with EquinEdge, and he joined the coaching class today, and he was asking a bunch of great questions. He's been playing horse racing for a long time. So I hope the EquinEdge community give Mark a big shout out too. He's a really good guy. So, okay, I'm sorry, but anyways, I just
you on Nobles. You're on Nobles, probably.
Well, I don't know that I'm on Nobles yet. I want to look at the 7 on cash, but I just don't understand how Demolition Duke became the EquinEdge second pick. But that's what's great about it. I mean, we can discuss it. It looks like it's going to close. Look at that too on the race simulator. It's got a double blue, which means it's going to especially close. Mark, I think you were asking about today about how we look at a closing number. People want to finish and this is your finish right here, right? You can see the horses that are going to close. The 6 is closing, and there's the 4 and the 2. Those are the horses that are closing. So you don't need anything else besides that. There's nothing better than that.
The 7, Scotty, on cash might scratch if this is on the turf, but we'll have to find out. Ravelli ran uncashed the 7 horse on the turf one time over at Toga, so maybe he won't scratch. I don't know, but if uncashed stay in the race, Ravelli has 2 speed horses, but I'm assuming the 7 might scratch if they stay on the turf, and then that horse has a big look if they stay on the dirt.
I guarantee you, if this race stays on the turf, that this horse is coming off of it. He knows this horse. Look at he tried turf one time, and he got smoked. Sometimes when you get these fast horses and they're going 5.5 furlongs at Fairgrounds or wherever, then people think it's automatic. But surface matters. Horses are bred for certain surfaces, and you can see that this horse was a 49 on GSR on the turf, and then the very next race it jumps up to a 66. But I also think that class matters too. Oh, here's what happened on that next race on the dirt. That horse could not clear. That race, this horse is so freaking fast. If somebody else was faster than him, they must have been a fast race.
Right? That was over at, is that MVR? Is that Mahoning Valley or Mountaineer?
No, that's Mahoning Valley. Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, look how fast. Look how fast was that race. This is a very fast horse. I still don't think he will. The 11's fast, and the 11 draws outside. I don't see that horse sticking around. And look at this is what's great about the pace number is you can start throwing out these speed horses. But No Balls is a horse that can rate, and this is the class of the field. Going to save ground from the inside. You know what's interesting to me? No, this is what's going on here. If they take the race off, okay, so Ravelli's the trainer of the 7 and the 1. I see what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so if the race stays on the turf, then the 7's getting scratched. If the race is off the turf, the 1's getting scratched. That's what's happening. Yeah. What's up? Yeah. What's up, Brad? One of the good guys, by the way, right there.
Good to see you, Brad.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. So I don't think we have to worry about them dueling. The 7's going to get scratched. Here's what we do have to worry about possibly. Let's just say I don't even think it'll matter, but if the 7 scratches, then it's possible the 11 horse gets an easy lead on the lead. No? On the turf?
It might. I mean, it could. For sure. Yeah, no, that could happen because I don't think Noble is probably going to be on the lead. I mean, maybe. I mean, Nobles might go to the lead. But the 1 and 11 are both going to be up there. The 11 going to put pressure on Nobles if Nobles try to go the lead.
Yeah.
So that, it's going to be a good race. But I think, to me, it really was between the 1, 4, 11, Scotty, if they're on the turf. So.
Well, I give the 11 a big shot if the 7 scratches,
Well, but I think the 11 probably is going to scratch, right? Again, as long as
not the 11, the 7. If they stay on the turf,
yes,
the 7 scratches, which means that the 11 horse has a really good chance of going gate to wire.
Yes.
And so and it's already the EquinEdge long shot. So what's interesting too is, and this is why I like the 11. The long shot algorithm could have chosen the 7, Justin, but it didn't. It chose the 11.
Yeah.
Right. And so what happens now when the 7 horse, who's the other speed, scratches? Now that just gives the 11 a big look. So I like the 1 or the 11. If the race comes off of the dirt, then it's going to be the 1 and 11 most likely. I don't know. I don't love this 4 horse. I think the 4 could get overbet.
All right, we'll find out Saturday.
So who are you going with?
I'm staying with the 4.
What's up, Connor? You're staying with the 4? Okay, I'm going to go with the 1 and 11. I'll just leave it at that for now. Well, yeah, probably 111 if it stays on the dirt. If it doesn't, or the turf, if it gets off of there though, dirt, I'm going to say the 7. All right, I think Oldie said that same thing. And you're going with the 1?
No, the 4.
Oh, you're going with the 4. Wow, I'm surprised. Okay.
I'm not changing my mind.
No, okay.
The 7, I think, has a big shot, obviously, on the dirt. But I thought that was it the 9, maybe?
All right, no. Let's go to the next one. Hold on, I'm going to let my dog out. She wants to leave the room. Come here. Okay. All right, we got race number 8. This is the Krantz Memorial Stakes, Marie G. Krantz Memorial Stakes, and let me first. Wow. Okay, so there's going to be scratches in here.
I cut a bunch of them. So I cut the 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay, looks like 11, 12. The 13 is interesting because I don't love the post, but let's run this race. Hold on here.
Yeah, we could definitely leave the 13 in.
Yeah, I think maybe we need to leave that in.
I don't like it, but you could. And the 14 I cut too, just so you know.
That's understandable. I mean, it's probably going to get scratched anyways. But the 1 horse saves ground on the inside, and the 10 horse is fast as well. We have to see what their styles are, but there could be some early pace in here. Okay, go for it. Talk about what you like. What the 1 horse is 8-1 on the EE morning line. That's not the type of top EquinEdge pick that we're looking for.
It's not very common. I actually put that horse second, Cupid's Crush, on the lead. I landed on the 7, Scotty, the second pick.
Okay.
Brennan Walsh, Declan Cannon, I think wins the race him, if I remember correctly. But, one last out at Fairgrounds and won easy in a 66. That was off the layoff and had 3 prior starts in graded stakes, including the grade 1 Philly Juvenile on the turf. I mean, she no joke. I think she's a nice horse. The price is absolutely a dream. Like 10-1 on a horse like this, I would love all day. I mean, And again, she didn't necessarily run great in those turf efforts, but those were tougher than this race, Scotty. I mean, it shows up as a 72, and those were big fields, right? And then she won last out and won easy. So she comes back, she's won 3 out of 6 races. Yeah. Again, I caught a bunch of them, and you could narrow to some of these others, but that's where I landed. I thought we'd get a great trip and have some class.
She's clearly talented, but she did what she was supposed to do last time out against an easier field, but she did it fairly easily against that optional 50 group. And the other the thing I will say though is that she's facing 3-year-olds in 2024, right? And that's a lot, right? That's a lot easier, except for the last race. That was 3 and up. And she was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf fillies, and she only lost by 2 lengths against 13 other horses. So, I mean, but a lot of times these horses don't run to what they did when they were younger, but this is a very interesting horse. We know she likes to win. She seems to have talent. She seems to be training very good. These workouts are super. At least we don't know how easily she did them, and I'm guessing that she did them easily, but it's a nice work pattern, I can tell you that. And so she could be the real deal here. And another thing I like to do? I like to take the EquinEdge second picks when I don't like the EquinEdge top pick. I'm blown away by it. I really like to do that. I feel like they do a lot better. And I'm seeing the 1 horse Cupid's Crush, 34% to win, top pace number, and 8-1 in the EE morning line. The problem maybe with this 1 horse, and it does draw inside, and that's going to help, is that the 10 horse is very, very fast as well. And the 10 horse needs the lead. I mean, and you can bet that the jockey is going to be sending hard. And Sias is already aggressive. I don't like the 10 at all, but it's very difficult. You're going to have to send hard from that outside post. And so I'm guessing somebody's coming back to them. And so when we run the race, let's run and let's see who's closing. So there's the 3 on the inside who's going to save ground the entire time. What problem I have with Justin with horses that close going 2 turns is if you don't have tactical speed from that inside post, especially when the rail's out, then you lose your advantage, because it really, you know what I'm saying? Like if you have tactical speed and you save ground from the inside, that's great. But when you're a closer and you're coming and you have inside, what does it really matter? You still have to come from behind and get through traffic, right? So you can be wide as well. So I like to take horses. I'm always looking for horses that are somewhat tactical. And when I'm running this, I'm really looking closely at the 6 horse. Look at the 6 horse. I
thought that was my 3rd pick. Way to be Marie.
Look at this. It got second last time out in a 68 SOR group. I know it was 51% to win, but it was only a 52 GSR.
Yeah. I mean, burn money 3 back in the regret. I mean, verse easier and just didn't run on the lead, but last away, so rushed up. That's what happened. So I guess you could forgive that effort. 3 back probably. So you forgive last out. You forgive 3 back. You have 274 races. I would love if this race stays on the turf. I'm definitely playing an exacta in this race, Scotty. It'd be a major play for me because I can get 20 to 40 to 1 for sure if I'm sitting here playing around like a 7-6, because I agree on the 6. Jose going to take money on the 13. That's not a great post. So,
look at the 6 horses projected to be 2 lengths back at the third call. That means that this horse has enough tactical speed to stay in position. It's going up 26 points in GSR, 26. And it ran like it did last time out. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, that was a really big effort. Look at the tabs, Justin. 55 on the dirt and 74 on the turf. This horse wants no part of dirt. And the fact that it ran against a nice group like that last time out and ran that big, it says it speaks to the talent of this horse. So I don't think this is that tough of a group. I don't really like the favorite. The 7 horse is a mixed bag. It's 12 to 1 EE morning line. The EquinEdge long shot is 30 to 1 EE morning line. It's on the outside post, and it seems to need the lead. And it could duel with the 1 horse, who's one of the favorites. Like, I just don't. The 7 could win the race. I don't really see the EquinEdge picks in this race. I think somebody else is winning this race. I think Way to Be Marie might be that horse.
All right. You're on the 6. I'm on the 7. We're definitely playing that exacta on Saturday. I'll tell you, that's going to be a good one.
Remind me who Oldie had.
Oh, did he? Oldie was on. Oldie didn't look at this one, and I know. I just know.
Okay.
Well, because he was. I think he's worried it might come off the turf, but I'm not so. I'm still holding out hope. I think we might get lucky. So
I don't think, Dan, we need the speed to collapse here. I really don't. And the 10 needs the lead. It's flying. The 1, by all intents and purposes, at this level, no, the 1 can the 1 can rate.
The 1 has a shot.
Not a lot, but it can rate.
Yeah, and it's okay. I mean, that horse is going to save ground and get a good trip for Barbosa, but that you're going to get all of 4 to 1 on the 1. I'll tell you, 1-6-7 here, 7-6-1. I mean, 7 over the 1-6 for me, but yeah.
Look, in a field that looks wide open, look at the 6 horse sneakily. This horse is 4 to 1 on the EE morning line. Look at that, right? 4 to 1 on the EE morning line. And not only is it 4 to 1 on the EE morning line, look at that surge indicator. In the coaching class, we saw one of those today. It was 30 to 1 on the odds makers morning line and 10 to 1 on the EE morning line. It had a surge indicator, and I completely missed it. I was so mad. Like, and John in the coaching class today, he saw it. He didn't say anything to anybody. I'm like, come on, John, you got to let us know about that stuff. But that was, I think, the first leg of the pick 5. He hit that. John hit that over at Gulstream. I think it was Gulstream, Mike, right? I think so. But anyways, so
you got to look at the 13 before we go, because that's the only other player in my mind is the Jose horse for Correas. So it shows up as a low win percent. It's not a great post. That's why, in my opinion, she can be beat. But so Scotty, the 13's a 6-year-old mare that only has 9 races. Came out of I don't know what SI is. That is somebody in the chat probably know what that track is. So I don't. Is that somewhere in South America?
This is an Argentinian bred horse. So that's clearly South America. And in its first race here in the country over at Keeneland against some pretty good horses. That horse won easily against 9 other horses. So clearly she has talent, but then she's gone on the shelf. And here's the thing. I'm glad you brought this up. Look at 7 wins and 1 second. Guys, you need to know this too right now. We don't get the raw data on foreign horses. So this year sometime we're going to start working on foreign data. We're going to do Australia. We're going to do Hong Kong. I mean, we're going to do that. So I want you to look very carefully at the foreign horses because, and the more I look at this, Justin, that's a really good point. Don't ignore that 3% because there's a likelihood that the system is judging these races that it can't fully judge. Look at this. This is a grade 1 winner. These are non-graded stakes races. I guess I would have more of a concern of the 3 straight layoff lines.
Yeah, and then the post. So you take the post, you take the layoff lines. I
but
mean,
there's
again,
enough room for this horse to get over. It looks like it has some tactical speed, Justin. So I don't know that I would worry about that. I think this horse is actually decent. And I'll tell you another thing about the win percentages, and we talked about this in the class today. Look, this sometimes, not always, but sometimes you get where a win percentage just gets too high. So if you eliminate the one horse real quickly, you're not even looking at the win percentage anymore, right? Don't even look at it. Like,
yeah.
Right. So just meaning judge the horse by the other metrics. So for whatever reason, the win percentage likes the one, and I think the one has a good look, but the one, look, it barely won, in a 30,000 optional claiming, and it's supposed to beat this really good field. I don't know, 34%. Something's amiss there. And it seems like it always gives this horse acceptable numbers. So who knows? It could win by 10. Cindy's keeping an eye on the 16 horse, who will need the race to come off the dirt, I believe. Is this main track only, or also? Oh, it's also eligible. So you might see this. It looks like this horse, the 16, can handle dirt or turf. Let's see here. What's the number on dirt? No, it's got a low dirt number. So yeah, the likelihood of this horse running if it stays on the turf is not likely, Cindy. So
No, it probably will run on the turf. The 16 probably, if they stay on the turf, the 16 probably get in the race. Maybe would be.
Why?
Just
how will it get the race?
Well, maybe some of these other horses come off. Is my only, but a lot of horses would have to come off, and I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, they're only going to run what, I think 12 at most in the race.
I
don't think they run. I don't think they run.
That's a good question.
Right?
Yeah,
so
I don't
know. Maybe Chris knows the answer to that, but I think they're going to run 12 maximum here, and so you would need, 3 or 4 horses to scratch in order for the 16 to get in. So not likely.
But my only, because the 13 and 14 are look to already be in the race. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, do they run 14? Maybe they do. That's a good point. All right, you've got the 7 horse. I'm on the 6 horse. Way to be Marie.
Oldie's on the 13. He said in the chat.
14 run from the form as well, Dustin. Okay, so thank you for that. So it looks like they do run 14. So you would only need a couple of horses to scratch for the 16 to get in.
Yeah.
And you have to watch for those too. Like, how many times have we made that mistake where also eligibles got in and we totally didn't think about that horse and then they win? So you do need to consider that. But I really like, actually, I like Way to be Marie. I like the 6.
All right.
That should be your top pick in your notes, Justin.
The 6. The 6 is. I'm with you. 6 is a player. That's a tough race.
Man, what a great card on Saturday over at Fairgrounds, huh?
Yeah, they have 12 great races. Ends in the LeCompte, which we'll get there at the end. But they really do. They have a good card. There's a big tournament too. I know that a lot of the crew is playing in. Yeah, it's I believe an entry into the Kentucky Derby Betting Challenge. But it's the Fairgrounds races. I think it's $400 on Twin Spires. There's a lot of people I know that'll play it. So
yeah.
Brad's right. Scotty, the Kentucky Derby pool is open. Yeah. Did you see that the Derby Futures is in EE?
I did. I saw that. Look, I don't know. Look at this. It's it was in today, right? Or tomorrow. Oh, it's in for tomorrow. That's right. Look, we'll look at this really quickly. But if you guys didn't know that, you can get the Kentucky Derby Futures. All the horses that have potential to get into the Derby, you can see their past performances. Here's Keep It Easy. It's kind of fun to explore this thing, isn't it?
So the reason why I appreciate Brad mentioned that, the reason why I like to do this, Scotty, is I like to look at the EE morning line. Because
I'm just the opposite with that. I don't trust any of that right
now.
No,
but here's the thing. So let me explain why. So if you like Citizen Bull, if anybody in this chat likes Citizen Bull, I don't know what Citizen Bull's odds are. I almost posted this today, but I don't know what Citizen Bull's odds are right now. But if you could find somebody to lock you in and you like Citizen Bull, EE have that horse at 6-1. If the morning line on Citizen Bull 20-1, go go find wherever you can book anything above 6-1 on Citizen Bowl, Scotty. I mean, so that's why I like it, because if you're playing and betting for value and you want a good price, and that's likely what you're doing in a futures wager, right? You're trying to find a price on a horse that you want to play as a bet. You're going to get really good value.
Right. So
there's Barnes.
Where's Barnes? I tell you what, that horse was pretty impressive in the San Vicente.
Yeah, we covered that, and you weren't so sure, but now you're sure. I can see.
Oh no, I was against this horse. I mean, did you see how impressive that was? And the reason is I was disappointed with this horse barely breaking its maiden, and then it goes over and does that. Like, and did you see the number? Look at but here's the thing. You know, the other cool part about this is look at the. I didn't see the main track only. I don't think there was. I don't think there was any for the main track, Jay. Look at the GSR though. It's still a great GSR, but it drops going 10 furlongs. So it maybe likes that middle distance. That's a possibility. A lot of horses don't like the classic distance at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this is the cool part: is you get a chance to look at these things, right?
You can handicap the race, Scotty. I mean, you can't really use the race sim, and I guess you could if you wanted to like play around, which I think is really cool. You could like, okay, here's what I think the Derby field's gonna look like, and then like see what I mean. Run the race sim. I haven't got a chance to do that yet, but
oh shit, again, you can't. How are you gonna run it? You can't.
Well, you have to get rid of a lot of horses. You make your own. You make your own
really
Derby.
Point. I didn't even know you could do that. I literally am learning this for the first time. Okay, let's get rid of Built. Let's get rid of Boulard. Let's get rid of Full Battle.
Keep Chancer, because Chancer probably, but it's hard because you'll have to make some.
I don't know how many horses. There's just no way. Hold on here.
No, you would have to spend some time, Scotty, to eliminate in because. You'd go look at the leaderboard and you could look at some of these horses. The Patch Adams and Citizen Bowl. You're right, in the southwest.
There's some first-time starters in here. Super interesting. I think that's the thing. And I don't like that we don't have any information on there. I'm working with Brad on that right now. Brad, if you're watching, we need to fix this when horses haven't run yet. We need to make sure that we get the past performances and all the information on that. So but let's see what we can do here. Okay.
You got like a tentative Derby field up there, Scotty.
I know, right? Like even horses that haven't run.
There.
Even horses that haven't run before. Are we there almost?
Well, Kildo's 1%.
See what happens. Let's
Kildo all other right. Citizen Bowl out on the lead.
This is really cool. I didn't even know we could do this.
But you can start to handicap it. Look at GSRs. Look at GSR Plus. Again, look at that morning line. If you're going to place future bets, I'm going to, Scotty, I'm going to find some places where I see value in, horses that I like. If I don't like them, I probably won't. But look, Citizen Bowl trying to wire the field. Here come the 5, Chancer McPatrick. Oh, no, who won?
Wins?
Somebody else?
39 and 40. First-time starters. Who's Varney?
Wait, yeah, who's that? But isn't number 40 the all other?
It is. It is. So I don't know what that's all about, but all three.
Wait, but who's Varney?
But who's
Varney?
No, look at that horse has never run before. It looks like, and it's Bob Baffert's first-time starter who's training like a monster.
I'm placing a few bucks on this horse in the future bet. It won the race sim.
That's insane. Hold on. Let's get rid of this 40 here, and then look, it wins the race simulator pretty easily.
I think Chancer McPatrick might have some talent, and I also think Citizen Bowl might have some talent. So, I mean, again,
I
don't
got
know.
my
We're gonna
Chancer McPatrick kicked my ass. I'm not falling for that horse again. Like it had the 10 hole over at Del Mar, and I was all over this horse. Won his first three races, and it just didn't run. Like I don't know, yeah, for Chad Brown, but
Coal
yeah,
battle. I love Oldie seeing Oldie like coal battles. Coal battle's a very sneaky horse.
I know one thing. I did not like the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I did not think that was a strong race, and so and you're right to maybe take a horse like this first time starter Varney, who's not run yet, for Bob Baffert. Maybe this is the horse. Let's look at the GSR Plus grid. That's not really all that high. Like we're looking for a horse a lot higher in GSR. Let's sort the GSRs. Okay, Citizen Bull's got a 98.
Citizen Bull, better way car.
Barnes is got a good number. First Resort for Ian Hardy.
Oldie like Patch Adams. Where's Patch? Do we keep Patch on there?
Yeah, Patch is on there. Or Chancer McPatrick, you mean?
No, Patch Adams.
Oh, no, I don't see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
If you look at the EE morning line, it's interesting. A horse that's never run before is the third lowest in the futures for EE morning line. Super interesting. But listen, I'm not going to get caught up in that, and I'll tell you why. This dirt tab needs to be more like 80, 85, right? Yeah. Not 66.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the horse yet, but
Mike, what number is Patch Adams? Just Scotty, I want to before we go back to Fairgrounds.
I probably deleted it somewhere.
But 29. Add 29. Oh, did you add them all back? Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. 29
Patch Adams. 29. Oh, okay.
So broke its maiden by 10.5 lengths against a very weak field. I mean, I don't think it proved anything.
Well, Oldie, you're going to get great odds on Patch. I thought that was cool. I kind of sidetracked.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, actually. I saw that yesterday or this morning. I mean, I completely forgot about it. That's cool. All right, let's get back out to Fairgrounds. We're in race number 9, I believe. Yeah, let's run this race. Here we go. I think we've got like 20 something races to cover, and we've only covered 3. I think we're in big ass trouble.
It's okay. We're not covering all. There's a lot this weekend. We'll definitely cover Fairgrounds. We got some GP and maybe some Santa Anita.
I know, but it's past a lot of people's bedtimes. You're not being fair, Justin.
I'm on the West Coast. It's just 6:30.
That's true. It's early for you. What about us old guys? Like, we need our sleep.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Who do you like here?
I gotta land on Chaston. I mean, it's Brad Cox. I also like the 2-horse for McPeak, but this is a race between McPeak and Brad Cox, and I'm just trying to get my notes back up, and Whitworth Beckham. I mean, it's the 3 of them. They have all the horses in the race. Mr. Walden has 1 horse, but it's Cox versus McPeak versus Beckman. But Justin, there's a big morning line angle, Scotty, and has a massive GSR. Brad Cox, 1 easy first time out. Didn't necessarily break all that well. Was bumped. Didn't have a great start and got shuffled all the way back from the 2 hole. So it was very impressive. I haven't got a chance to watch the race, but I'm going to before I put in all my analysis. Is definitely one I would look at, but. I mean, it's a Juddmonte homebred. I mean, bred all day, Scotty. I mean, it's the Silver Bullet Day, and it's there's a bunch of them here. Some have some talent, but there's a lot of them that just broke their maiden as well. But I thought that she definitely looked to have some talent. So
McPeak has 3 horses in here. The 2, 6, and 7. California Sunset, the 5 horse, is another Brad Cox horse, but Rosario's aboard because Florent Drew got off, and he's Florent Drew is Brad Cox's main jockey, and they're 7-5 on the morning line, 28%, top EquinEdge pick, and but again, you play with fire when you start picking a bunch of horses that just broke their maiden to beat winners for the first time. I mean, you just do. You're going to get bit because they win at a very small percentage of the time. But when the entire field kind of looks the same way, maybe the 6 horse just broke its maiden, the 2 horse.
I think Golden Gamble has the shot. Like
I agree with you, by the way.
I jumped back and forth between the 1 and 2. I might change my mind by the time Saturday comes, but I mean, look at that. That was impressive in the maiden special, Scotty. And then at the Untappable there at Fairgrounds, I mean, that was the 68, same thing, ran second. I mean, 8 horse field was the favorite, but I mean, didn't win, but ran a respectable race. So
yeah, I agree. No, I agree with you. And the reason is when a horse breaks its maiden and comes back against a decent sized field, 7 other horses, and gets second in a non-graded stakes race, that's fine. But a 68, so moves up and then runs like that, then the horse is going to be around. It has talent as long as it stays sound. This filly clearly is a trier. Her workouts look really good. She's the EquinEdge, or no, she's not in the top EquinEdge picks. That's interesting. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
She's right there. I don't know. It does look like I don't blame you. Look at the GSR. The GSR on this horse for Juddmonte Farms is 99. You know what I don't think we do enough of? And maybe some of you out there do, and I'd love to know. Do you guys on every single horse you handicap, do you look at who the ownership group is or the breeders? Like, do you look at that? Do you look at that?
I do quite a bit. Sometimes I probably admit, but I really started doing that, Scotty, maybe within the last year, probably the last year. But yes, yep.
Right, because I mean, Juddmonte has bred and owns this filly, and she
homebred.
Yep, and let's look at her. I mean, look. I mean, 9 tries. The mare won almost 500K. Like, so clearly, I mean, she's just so well bred, and of course, In the Mischief is the top sire in the world. So it looks like Nathan's saying that the 5 horse is going to get scratched, and so yeah, you do too, Cindy. Yeah, I don't enough. I forget to do that. Yeah, I think in the bigger races, you guys, that it's so important that we do that, right? Like, I just think it is. Like, so clearly they know that the 5 horse can't compete with the 1. So let's just assume the 5 horse is out. That means the 1 horse is going to probably go off at about 36, 37%, Justin, and be a really big player in here. And it's 4-1 in the odds makers morning line, and it's 7-5 on the EE morning line. So clearly, this horse is really talented, and I think the other horse really is the 2 horse Golden Gamble. I don't know. I really like what this horse did first time against winners. And look, how about the 3 horse, the EquinEdge second pick? This horse, in its very first start, ran against a 66 SOR group and beat them. Now only 5 horses, and look at the workouts. I mean, this horse clearly has talent.
Yeah, I put that horse 3rd, but I'm with you. But that's kind of why I land on the 1 against. I know I picked 2 horses that just broke their maiden, but in both races, I just thought both those, and I think they might have both been Cox horses, because Manny was on the other one on Cox at Aqueduct, the first race we covered. But the 3, I mean, it's not easy to win a 66 stakes first time out, right? But the 1 looked well met for Juddmonte. I mean, and again, that was not an easy win. Came over, got a lot of adversity in that first race, Scotty, for Chaston. So.
Yeah. So I'm looking, CJ Hernandez and McPeak are 11%. McPeak and Saez are, they've, 1 for 5. And this horse barely broke its maiden at 38%, 40-1 EE morning line. So I'm not even considering that horse. And then, but Hernandez is McPeak's main guy. Gets off of the 7 horse after a win, by the way. So getting rid of that horse on Golden Gamble. And then clearly this horse seems to have some talent, but it's stretching out. Nice GSRs. It's clearly bred very well. And the dam, look at the dam. I mean, look what this dam did. It didn't matter. Dirt, turf or synthetic. Look at the money earned, like crazy. How many times do you see in all three surfaces a horse winning at all three of them, no matter where you put her? Or him. That's pretty amazing, honestly. 12 wins, 7 seconds, and 2/3. So, I mean, clearly the 3 horse is talented as well. I'm interested that the 6 horse is interesting to me from the perspective of 9-2 on the EE morning line. That's super interesting to me. But I really do think the 1, 2, and 3, it's between those horses with a maybe you better look at the EquinEdge long shot, because it's not only the EquinEdge long shot, but it's 9-2 on the morning line. But I'm going to go with the 1 also. Yeah. But listen, if you're spreading, money earned is telling. Well, I mean, it is from a money earned. You got to be careful with money earned, but by the most part, money earned is kind of a tell of class. That's what it is. And we use that in our algorithms as well, like especially our GSR. Like obviously the horses that are the better horses are earning more money by the most part. But all right, Justin, I'm on the 1. Who is Oldie on?
He on the 1 too. We all on the 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any way around it. I won't be surprised if any of these 3 other horses win, but I think that the 1 horse makes the most sense. And we have to look at the stretch out too. I mean, look at this. How many times do you see a horse with a 94 dirt tab? How many times have you seen it?
It's not often. It really isn't.
Crazy.
That's very high.
This is a really, really well. Did we look at the dam? I think we did.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very respectable. Yeah, for
very
sure.
nice. And then the 2 horse, I don't think we looked at the dam on the 2. She didn't do as much. I'm not going to take the 2 as seriously, to be honest with you. I think that we look at the 6 horse. The dam really wasn't that much. I think the EquinEdge picks have it. I think it's between the 1 and the 3. I love this breeding here. I love what this mare did. I mean, that shows versatility. You've got to believe that between Practical Joke, who was amazing, and 12 tries earning almost $2 million, you got to believe that this horse got a huge part of its mother and its dad. Like, what amazing breeding by the 3. I actually think I'm only going to use the 1 and the 3.
Right. I'm on the 1. We'll see what happens with the 2 and 3 underneath.
Let's go to race number 10. This is the Colonel E.R. Bradley Stakes.
Gosh, I really hope they keep these races on the turf, Scotty. They're absolutely amazing.
They
turf
are.
races.
Oh my God!
It's one of my is the most favorite part that I love about Fairgrounds, because they have absolutely outstanding turf racing, and there's another big field. I did cut the 3-4, Scotty, and I cut the 13 and the 14 as well. Just FYI on that front.
It's interesting that the 14 is 7-1, but it's dropping in GSR. I think
I see it there for the dirt.
I think it's run decent races on the dirt, and but yeah, I agree with you. 7 wins and 19 tries is pretty impressive, but likely the 13 though. Look at it, it's only 2 lengths back at the finish. It's only 1%, but it's 20-1. I think from that post and all that too. It did well last time out, but it doesn't do as well on the turf. So I would agree with you. All right, let's go. Okay, now we can run this thing. Let's do it. So 6 looks like it gets an easy lead, huh? But that's the big favorite, or the big long shot. It's 9% though. Look at that. I was surprised. A 50-1 EE morning line that's 9% to win.
Holds on to the lead for a really long time.
It does. It does. I mean, it starts losing it right before the stretch. I mean, look at it. I mean, based on that, it's just an absolute grab bag. How are you seeing, because you've been covering Fairgrounds this meet, how are you seeing horses run on the turf over there when they are staying? Or Or is it speed? Is it fair for closers? Like what?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So it's tough to win up on the lead going 2 turns, Scotty. It's not easy. Speed has not been holding going 2 turns. You can definitely close from on the outside.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to my notes on it. You can definitely close from on the outside, but you don't want to be too close from an outside post. You want to be closing from an outside post. You don't want to be up near the lead at all. They don't win. They've won 0 races, Scotty, at the meet in 25 races, except for the closers won 6 of the 25. Nobody, if you're within 4 lengths of the lead, they haven't won at the meet outside the 7 post. Yeah, and so Mark's, speed's not been great. You got to really find the right angle. You can stock those, Scotty. You just being on the lead is very difficult. So
look at the odds maker did a really nice job here. When's the last time you saw an odds maker make the lowest of the morning lines 5-1?
4,
right?
the 1 4-1. Oh, you have 5-1.
7-2 on Gigante, but then 5-1, the 11 5-1. Okay, why don't we look at the 11 first? It's the EquinEdge second pick. It's 4-1 on the EE morning line. It's got a decent win percentage. I'm not even looking at the win percentages in this race. They're 2 equal. But one thing we do see is look at the surge indicator, 87 for Wadsworth. So the GSR, last time out, it raced on the synthetic. It didn't really enjoy that experience that much. It ended up going off as a favorite. And it ran a good race against 11 other horses, losing by 2 3/4 lengths. But it's back on the turf. Look what it's done the last 4 times on the turf. A second by a half a length, a first, a second by a half a length, a second by a half a length. So in the last 5 starts, 2 seconds and 2 first place finishes and 3 seconds for Brad Cox. I mean, clearly has talent. Do you think the 11 post is going to be the reason why this horse loses, or what do you think?
No, I think it can do okay from out there because it's going to be closing from an outside post. Again, it's won 6 out of the 25 races at 8.5. So I think the 11's definitely a player. And
who your most likely favorite in the race, Gigante? And what are your thoughts there?
Yeah. I kind of went back and forth with this horse as my top pick. I mean, it's Jose for Steve. So, in Louis Saez riding the 1 for Cherie DeVoe. And so I think that's really important because Steve has been leading around the wins, but he hasn't had a lot of runners lately. And then Cherie DeVoe's done a lot with her horses in much less number of races. She's, very efficient. She's just having a great meet, and obviously has been getting a lot of horses. She has a horse coming from California again. But I mean, Jose rides here, Scotty, and 1 is 68. Last out is the favorite, 1 easy, and he rides back here, and Jose's dominating the meet. And Gigante, I mean, this isn't really, I thought, stood out versus this group. I mean, has all those runs in the low 70s for Gigante. So I think as a player here versus this group, I mean, fits really well. It will for sure be the favorite.
Well, look, jockey trainer combination with Asmussen and Ortiz is 34%, but you're right. I mean, he rides a lot for Cherie DeVoe and gets off, and Saez and Cherie DeVoe are 15%. But I mean, they do look pretty tough. But look at this horse only beat 4 other horses in that non-graded stakes race at 30%. Now it's 19%. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it because it has 7 wins. It clearly likes to win. But look, if you look here, I'm not going to say it's burned money. It was 7-1 here, so that's not burning money. 5-1 here, that's not exactly burning money either.
Yeah.
So, maybe you can forgive those efforts. I mean, clearly this horse earned $1.1 million in 18 tries. I mean, I'd love to have her. But, this was a very rough race on paper.
I ended up landing on the 1. So
really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I really don't want Louis to go to the lead, and I'm not sure this horse has to have the lead, Scotty. I mean, when you look back, I mean, both the twin have come right on the lead. It didn't run well last out in the Kelso in Saratoga in the summer, but that was a grade 3. And so it's, he's dropping 8 points in SOR. And Cherie, I think, gonna have this horse definitely cranked and ready versus this group. And when you go back to Fairgrounds last winter, Scotty ran amazing races right off the pace. I mean, Northern Invader showed the ability there to do that. And I think you're going to get a great price, to be honest. So I lay on the one on top.
God, what a rough race this is. Like, I think,
but I think it is, but I think, the 7 fits. I think the 1 for sure fits. I think, Mr. Dettori's in town, Scotty, on the 12 horse Money Supply. And again, I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about that post coming from behind. Adds Lasix, but Frankie showing up here at Fairgrounds, I love. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, good for him. He's showing up on a big day. But I mean, it's Joe Sharp. And so Joe obviously, runs well at Fairgrounds, usually has Jose aboard. But the E morning line piqued my interest. Scotty at 7 to 1.
I can see that.
But for me was under. I'm not sure. I mean, that horse might have a shot, but it's only, 7%. And Frankie going to upgrade there on that horse. So,
the fact that the 5 horses, the EE long shot, tells me how tough this race is, because this horse seems like it doesn't have the class. But of all these horses here that it could have chosen, the 9, the 8, because it's looking for odds makers morning line of 6 or above. That's what the long shot is looking for. And, it makes me love the 11 horse. I don't love Gigante. I don't hate Gigante. I am not a fan of the 1 horse like you are. So I have to go with Wadsworth. I do. I just think the upside of this horse, what this horse has done in the last 6 races, and then the last race, even considering that was a pretty tough field, and they took a shot on the synthetic, and that didn't pan out. And we've seen that before. Look what happened here. Tried the synthetic over at Turfway Park in this grade 3 on March 25th of 2023, and then comes back and runs a huge race, although it broke bad. I also think an issue with the 11 horse, possibly that's a little bit scary for me, is you're on that outside post and you're not necessarily the best breaker. Like, if I had this horse, and I'm no trainer for sure, all I would do is work this horse from the gate, because it seems to me if you could get this horse to break good, and that might not even be possible, but if you could, it's Godolphin, first of all, homebred. But if you could get this horse to break good, because I don't think people give enough credit for breaking. Like, that's why trainers, I learned so much from Kathleen O'Connell, who trains my horse Sarkis, who's running tomorrow, by the way. I know we're going to cover that race, but and so I learned all these gate drills. I'm like, what's up with these gate drills? It's so important, because he struggles out of the gate a little bit. He gets nervous ahead of time. He does this, and it's so important. And not many horses are winning a bunch of races, especially bigger races, when they're break slow. So
yeah. Wadsworth fits, though. Scotty nearly won a 74 2 back. So when you look at this group, you have quite a few horses that have to improve.
Yeah, Wadsworth, but it broke first. It broke on top.
No, well, so yeah, there you go. If that's what you're hoping for, then, right? We talked and Brad Anderson, I appreciate saying that. We talked about homebreds. There's another homebred. This one's for Godolphin, right?
The other thing I worry about, the other one, I'm sorry for interrupting you there, but
no, you're fine.
I'm not the biggest, I don't dislike Fleuron in any way, but as a jockey, I'm not the biggest fan. And I feel like when he's on the best horse, he doesn't usually screw it up necessarily, but when he needs to give a horse a good ride to win, he doesn't normally do that. And he's drawn outside here, and the horse isn't the best breaker. Maybe choosing Fleuron Giroux in this situation is not the best thing. I also am always recommending to people, be careful about letting the jockey influence you, because you can get pretty screwed up there.
Yeah, I do agree. I'm similar in your boat. I have given a lot more leadway to, and maybe a day like this is different, but a lot more leadway to Florent Drew riding at Fairgrounds, Scotty, because, and it's a different jockey colony on Saturday, but he has been riding well, but when I've watched him, in those other colonies in New York or Gulfstream or, in Kentucky, he struggles, right? But I had Wadsworth third.
But you cannot you can't let jockeys get in your head. Rispoli, what he's done to me. It's crazy. I've singled Rispoli, and he's lost every time I've singled him. Every time. And then when I don't use him, I'm like, I am betting on that son of a bitch, and he beats me every time. Okay, the 9 horse. What say thee? What say thee about this 9 horse, the 7-year-old gelding, who, he's got an impressive record, 7 wins and 21 races at $410,000. But these are some pretty nice. This non-graded stakes race came up pretty tough.
Yeah, no, it's a great turf race. It really is very competitive.
What did you think about this 7-year-old gelding?
I mean, won all those races, Scotty, last summer. Keeneland, Churchill, Lone Star. 58 to 64s, has 7 win and 21 tries for Maker. Maker's had this, a 7-year-old, but barely getting up. I mean, just barely getting up versus easier was a little bit of my concern. Coming off the layoff. So Joel gonna have to give the masterpiece ride if this horse has only been getting up. He's gonna have to give a really great ride, in my opinion. So I saw it. I didn't really have in my top 3 or 4 picks, but that's just me.
Yeah. By the way, Oldie's leaving. Okay, Oldie, we'll see you.
Bye, Oldie.
We'll see you tomorrow. By the way, I feel like a proud papa right now with you, because I would talk to you about horses barely getting up against easier all the time. And you're right. And I missed that here, by the way. And this is such a good horse, no doubt about it. But I think that what this horse has barely gotten up against, it's got to be perfect in this race. And the other thing is, when I look at the 2nd and 3rd races back where the horse didn't run good, it really didn't get bet. And well, here it did at 5-1, but it was only 7% and 3% to win. So here it got up against the 66 group. It did. And it's such a good horse. I don't like this horse for the win end. I'm playing against this horse on the win end.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
that's a good note there from. Go ahead, Scotty.
What's the note? You mean with Dave?
No, from Dave. Yeah.
When many speed favorites are on the outside in the same race, I always gravitate to finding a horse that can set the trip on the inside. He's right. He's absolutely right. Find a horse on the inside that's gonna save ground, get a good trip. Let's look at the first call and see where horses are going to be. So there's the 6 horse, but it's 50-1. There's is that the EquinEdge long shot? The 5, right? Yep, the 5 horse.
Yeah.
Sitting a perfect trip.
Well, I think the 5 going to be up near the lead for Curtis and Hartman. I think the 1 going to sit off both of them, but we'll have to find out what Louis and Cherie decide.
Look at that. When you run the race simulator to the finish, it says 7-11-9. When you run it to the stretch, it says 1-11-7. Like, holy hell. When you run it to the 3rd call, it says 6-1-8. This is just the definition of an absolutely brutal race. Ah, man. You never take a favorite in a race like this. You absolutely never take a favorite in a race like this. That I can tell you. Like, if you're playing in a tournament, you got to take a price. Sometimes you can see the EE morning line that will kind of sneak up and give you one. I don't love the post position of the 12.
Right.
We're trying to beat the 7 this entire time. We haven't been able to do it. So
no, the 1. But
you're trying to beat it with the 1, but I mean, and I guess maybe Saez is aboard. I mean, yeah. You know what? The 1 is a good play. The 1 is a good play. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'd be guessing right now if I did that, and I don't want to do that. So I'll leave it at that.
Oldie picked the 8 just for. Oh no, he picked Oldie. Oldie didn't look at that race, so we'll keep going.
He didn't.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm not even gonna go there. But I think you got a good long shot. Look at it. It's a horse to watch too. Top win percentage and top SOR. So that means something. So I think you have a live contender in there. And if it wasn't for Florent Giroux being aboard the 11, I'd probably choose the 11. But,
I believe after all that, I'll let you keep going to race 11. After all
right,
that,
I'm gonna put me down for the 11 just officially, but yeah. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next race. Yeah, that was a good
We
claim,
have,
Mark. Maker is actually very good at claiming and moving horses up. No, I agree. Yeah, whatever it is, huh? Look at this
the
horse.
other where we pipeline. Yeah, that's a lot of speed, Scotty.
Yeah.
And Saya's riding, gets off the 6. So, and Jose rode for Cherie. So the 3 is Cherie DeVoe. But I thought the speed might stop up front. We would have somebody come off the pace in this race, Scotty. I think Track Phantom is also fast. You can see that. So I didn't think that it's going to be flying on the front end, in my opinion, with Saez. And then you have Track Phantom, Scotty, who won the Lecomte. The Lecomte's in the next race, but won the Lecomte last year, ran in the Derby, right? But has a lot of speed. So I thought there was a lot of pace in this race.
There is, but you know that speed holds too at Fairgrounds, but also horses that come from behind. I mean, it's a long stretch, second longest in North America, only short to Los Alamitos by a couple of feet. It's not that much. So this is a long stretch. And the problem I have with both the 3 and the 8 is that when you have 2 horses that clearly need the lead, and they both obviously with the win percentage seem to have talent, there's a high likelihood that they're just going to be motoring too fast early, and it's going to set it up for horses to come from behind. That's what it looks like.
Which I thought was Hit Show. And I mean, it's not any type of, I think Oldie might have landed on the Hit Show with me as well. Yeah, yes, he did. So he landed on Hit Show as well. Oh no, he didn't. That's all right. So we'll talk about his pick. But yeah, I just thought that Hit Show gonna sit the trip, Scotty. And Jose rides there, or Florent Drew ride there for Brad Cox. Sorry. It's Brad Cox, ran in the Clark. Last out was the 78. So Hit Show dropping 6 points in SOR. And one is 2 grade 2s and a grade 3, and this shows up as a grade 3. So was Hit Show's just kind of along with the crew for Brad Cox, and this is the spot that Hit Show shows up best. I mean, it seemed like a fairly easy group with a lot of pace in front, so that's where I landed.
He's got a nose for the wire, doesn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
And Dave's right. I mean, Brad Cox dominates Fairgrounds usually, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, he has limited runners, but he wins at a very high rate.
So the 10 is a live long shot. Dustin likes the 10. The GSR is not bad. It's a 78, which is the 4th highest, or actually the 2nd highest, because 3 of them have a 78. That's a really good stat there. In 36 races, post 1 through 3 win 67%. Thanks for sharing that. Wow. That's massive.
Yeah, and Scotty, at the going 2 turns, speed is not quite as dangerous. It's dangerous, but sprinting speed dominates. And going 2 turns, though, you can close. You want to be inside, though, like Hit Show. The Hit Show has the perfect post. You do not want to be outside if you're trying to close. So
thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that stat, by the way. And Mark did confirm that's at this distance for the year.
No, yeah, I have it up too. It's amazing. I love that Mark does that. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess there's really nothing else to look at then, because the 2 horse is 20-1 and 5%. The 3 horse is going to be very, very fast. If the 3 or 8 happen to scratch, then you might want to strongly consider. If the 8 horse was a scratch, you might want to strongly consider the 3.
Oldie liked the 8, Scotty. That's who Oldie put the 8 on top. So somehow, I don't know how he thinks this horse maybe can rate, or he just thinks it's faster. I'm not sure.
I mean, look at 7 furlongs, the 8 horse ran a good race, and look at it really has not run great. Look at Kentucky Derby, didn't do anything. Louisiana Derby, it kind of stopped, going 9.5 furlongs. 8.5 furlongs, it did okay against a 68 group, but that was early on. It just seems to be. It looks like more of a horse that's just stopping lately, and you have the 3 horse that's fast as hell. That's going to the lead. Like something's got to give. I don't. If the 8 scratches, then I'm going to worry about the 3. I mean, I'm looking for the 8 scratch. 8, please scratch, and then I'm going with the 3, right? And but otherwise for me, I'm going with the 1.
All right. Before we go, we talked. What about Skinner, the 5? This is another California shipper. Yeah, Brad, you're right. I had a bunch of 1s on my sheet. It's just the way it worked out. It was pretty funny. But yeah,
it was interesting because, well, first of all, Cherie DeVoe takes over. And she's 21% with these horses. Look that was a grade 3 race at Santa Anita right now. I mean, the horse stock at Santa Anita is not exactly great. In fact, it's so not great. When we go to the sales this year, I'm considering sending my horses to California. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it. I live in Florida, but I'm considering it. And so we're going to go to the 2-year-old sales from March through June this year. And I'm hoping to buy, 3 or 4 or 5 horses. So, and I might send them to California, honestly. And this is an example of that. I know this horse is 9-2, and I respect the connections. In fact, the connections are, let's take a look, 25%. Let's see. I mean, I think the connections are getting this horse with a low EE morning line. Look at this horse lost an optional claiming 40,000 2 races back. The next race, it was in a native diver grade 3 with only 5 other horses, and the SOR was the same as the one before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. Yeah. I mean, Hit Show's a very, very nice horse. Grade 2, grade 2, grade 2. I'm supposed to choose the 5 over the 1? How do you do that? No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and maybe she does something that improves the horse. The horse 1,000% has to improve to win this race, and improve by 10 lengths to do it. So, again, I think the 3 is the real deal if the 8's not pressing. I like the 3 better than the 8 personally. I know Oldie kind of likes the 8 horse. Who was his selection?
He had the 8 and then the 1. He put the 1 second, so he trying to beat Hit Show with the 8. I'll have to chat with him. Yeah,
I don't like. Does he not see that the 3 horses in this race and is faster? I'm not sure. What's the 8 based on exactly?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him. Because I'm with you, but yeah.
I mean, look at the horse. Except for the 7 furlong race, the horse actually rated a bit in that 7 furlong race. It was 40% is 40% to win last time out against a little bit tougher group. 40%. It got the lead, saved ground,
easy lead,
second call, and stopped.
I know. Yeah. On the Fairgrounds dirt. I mean, ran well to start its career last year, Scotty. I guess it did race as it only raced as a 3-year-old. So. It did race as a 2-year-old, now a 4-year-old. Sorry.
I don't know that this horse is the same. Look, it was facing 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds here at Fairground when it was running pretty decently.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Really, if you look at it, this horse won its first 3 races as a 2-year-old and just turned 3. But it's not been the same since.
I think I had a future bet on this horse because I placed a couple bets on Steve to win the Derby. This might have been one of them, but it has not been the same. I agree with you.
Let's see, the 10 horse Maycock Bay. The horse barely won against 5 other horses, an optional claiming 50, Brad. It won a non-winners of 2 lifetime easily against 5 other horses, getting the lead. It seems to be a horse that really needs to be near the lead for its best. And it doesn't look like it's going to be anywhere near the lead. So for those reasons, I don't think I could choose that horse. As far as the wet GSR, like the 1 horse has an 84. I mean, that's just monstrous.
The 6 horse has a little bit higher wet than normal dirt.
I think everything is pointing towards the 1. It really, really is. The 6 horse has an interesting, a nice looking wet GSR, but it's 9-1 EE morning line. And it's the type of horse that needs to be forwardly placed. It's so important when you handicap to look at a horse's style and the reason it is because you can then go back in the next, the next time the horse runs and go, yeah, there was too much speed in that race. It didn't play towards that horse's style. And then, and we're working towards giving you such good information like that you'll be able to see why a horse didn't run good, because forgiving races is so important. Because I don't think this horse is fast enough with these horses in this race, but next race it might be. You see what I mean? Like the 3's faster, the 8's faster, the 9's fast, the 10's fast, the 7's pretty fast. So the 6 horse is only 5%. It might not play out well for this horse. So on paper, it's going to look bad, but it didn't play well for this horse. Whereas in these races where it ran good, it was probably the fastest horse in the race.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it looks like the 1 horse has a really nice wet GSR. The 6 does too. Hey, look at it. It won on a sloppy track here. I don't know. And you might want to forgive this race here, to be fair to the 6 horse, but it's only had 5 wins in 22 races, but it ends up off of a little bit of a layoff in this, very tough 78 group. I would have liked to see this though. One of the reasons why I don't like this horse, Dan, with the wet is that it's maker, yet the horse is 9-1 in the EE morning line and only 5% to win. So I think that the horse likely is up against it in this particular race. Everything seems to set up for the 1 horse. Florent Drew could have a good day today, or on Saturday. I mean, Justin.
Yeah, him and Brad Cox. I'm with you. They look very tough.
So, and then Brad just brought up this 10 horse, and while it looks good on paper, again, look at it. Styles being near the lead, and it doesn't even come. It's 8 points lower on the SOR, and it's not going to get the lead. And it draws outside. It's not likely the 10's going to run good. Everything is continuing to point towards the 1 horse, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hit show.
Yeah.
Gonna be a big fave. All right.
Yeah.
The comp is so this the Derby, number 12. The Derby trail is about to heat up, Scotty.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really going to start to kick it off. I mean, there's been a few
how many
races.
points are they giving in this race? Do you know?
No, I should have looked that up.
I know.
So
I put a note on this 3 horse, by the way. I thought Admiral Dennis was a pretty nice horse for Brad Cox. Now,
20 points. 20, 10, 6, 4, 2.
20?
Keep going.
So Saez does jump off to ride the 8 horse, but maybe he was taken off because the jockey trainer combination with Admiral Dennis with Rosario and Brad Cox is 21%. So, it's and then look, the 4 horse Magnitude is 12-1 on the EE morning line, but the jockey trainer combination of Jose Ortiz and Asmussen is 34%. So, and it looks like it's a need the lead or be near the lead type of horse, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for that. Oh, Admiral Dennis is out. Okay, thank you, Mike. Running an allowance race on Monday. Okay, thank you very much. That saves us a little bit of work. All right, Justin, what are your thoughts in here?
Well, Admiral Dennis is not running. Is that what I just heard?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Mike was just saying that. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm not quite sure, so I may change my opinion, but I'm landing on Disco Time, Scotty. So I'm landing on Florent Drew and Brad Cox again, man. I don't like the post is my biggest concern, Scotty, but I don't think I can go against the system in this race. I just don't. And with Admiral Dennis now out of the race is kind of why I'm landing here, because it's 4-5 on the E morning line. It's the top pick. It's Brad Cox, Florent Drew. We just saw in the Kentucky Derby Future, I saw Disco Time on there as well, and gave me a little bit of interest. But 1-2 in a row. This is just the next step. I mean, won a 70 last out and one easy. This is a 68. I just don't think it's necessarily a great group in this Derby prep, and EE has it right. I just think that horse is better than a lot of these.
So
I cut.
I found this 13 interesting
Yeah.
from the perspective of it draws the outside post, and it's likely to go wide around that first turn, which comes up quickly, and it's 10-1. It's 10-1 on the E morning line, and and maybe that's part of the win percentages in here, but it won easily. It ran good in the gun runner here at Fairgrounds, 25% to do so. It comes back to the same conditions, and I mean, it had trouble in its first start sprinting, and then it just has done better and better. It's got a decent GSR here of 78, but I think Disco Time is going to be a horse you're going to have to consider. But here's what you do, what I worry about a little bit. The 13 is going to be sending from that post hard. And if Laurent Giroux breathes wrong at the opening of that gate, that 13 is going to be pressing from the outside. And the 13 is a good breaker and a nice horse. It's not like it's an average horse. So that could hurt the 11 horse. And now we're talking about Laurent Giroux that's got to make a good decision from that outside post. I'm just saying, like, maybe you try to beat the 11 horse in this particular race, who's going to be your favorite. I have no doubt this horse is going to be the favorite. And when you run the race simulator, and we're talking about the inside posts,
I know. Yeah.
Look at this race. It's almost a vertical line in this race. Who's the horse we have to watch out for?
Well, you cut Innovator. What about if Innovator just keep going on the front end? But I think that horse gonna give it up.
I mean, it's stretching out, and it faced a 54 group last time out. If this horse wins, it's going to be at 50-1.
Well, that's why it just looks so easy for the 11. I mean, the 11 already beat in its second start, won easy versus 70, Scotty. Many of these just don't look up to par.
No.
The 13. I mean, to me, it's the picks would be the only question mark. I mean, is Jose going to win for Steve on the 4? I don't know. I don't think so. There's the 2 for McPeak that Dustin mentioned. I mean, just broke its maiden. I know, won by 15 lengths, so at least was very impressive.
So look, all the horses I eliminated, everyone's bringing up right now. Dustin's on the 2. Dave said, "Look at the 6 horse." Oh, let's pull this guy back. Okay, 8-1 on the EE morning line, but the GSR drops, suggesting that maybe this horse is a turf horse. Clearly, the tabs are suggesting this horse is a turf horse for sure. And I mean, yeah, it looks like a very, very nice horse that's run very good. But you're asking a horse to beat a grade 3 field going on the dirt for the first time. It's going to take a very special horse to be able to do that. It just really, really is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But this race is wide open. Like it really is. Like I don't know.
I think.
Are we really? I'm not even going to touch Fairgrounds. Are we really going to trust Laurent Giroux all day long?
That's the way it looked like. I mean, I'm telling you, like at least he's been riding well down there. I think the Brad Cox. I guess I'm trusting Brad Cox for a lot of it.
Who's the coach got? He's got the one horse Innovator.
I mean, it's all speed inside and try to take them all the way.
So
I mean, Cox is 10 for 33 at the meet. He about to try to take the lead on Saturday. The leader has 12 with Amos and Asmussen, but. Yeah.
So when we look at the wet. Let's look here. Watch. Guarantee this 11's going to have a huge wet number. Watch. Not huge, but decent. How about the 13? Yeah, nobody really stands out on the wet numbers, Justin.
Yeah, I don't know. I see this going through the 11.
What's up, Matt Miller? Also huge GSR on the 1.
The
Yeah, it's
jump.
going up too. It is going up, which is good. But I mean, is a horse like this really going to beat a group like this after just breaking its maiden?
It's
Like,
the long shot. It is the long shot.
Yeah.
No, I think the 11 gonna win. I was 11-1-13.
Let's look at the dam. Look at the dam. Like, you want to talk about Brad Cox just getting all the horses? Would you look at this? But look at this though. Look at, in 40 tries earned $734,000. Fair enough. But look at sprinting. This horse is a sprinter. Now, not this time could go long, of course. But it's interesting. Like, it kind of reminds me of Secretariat. Like the sire, the top sire at the time, horses weren't going long and winning the classic distance, but the dam did. The dam did, and it's amazing, right? And so, and maybe this works out good for this horse. Clearly he can go long. I mean, look what he did going a mile. It's a 1-turn mile over Churchill Downs. I don't think 8.5 furlongs is going to be a problem for this horse, but I think it is worth noting that the dam was a pure sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It's fun. Look what we get to
do. Who you landing
We get
on?
to handicap horses. How great is that? Right?
It's
Talk
amazing.
about horses, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun. I have no clue in this race, honestly. I was hoping. We spent a lot of time on this race. Chris is probably he bailed already. I have no clue. Who's Oldie on?
Yeah, who did? Oldie is on the 3, Admiral Dennis, and then the 1, and then the 11. So since the Admiral scratched, he's probably on the 1 or the 11 now. He'll have to decide what his plan is.
I mean, based on the first look at, it's not easy to go over and break your maiden first time out. Then you go beat optional claiming group at Churchill Downs, mind you. First time out, they went by 3.5 lengths, and they weren't small fields, they weren't massive, but 8 horses in each, competitors in each of those, and the horse did it easily. So, doing everything he's supposed to do. Yeah.
All right, we're done with the grounds. So we got a couple at Gulfstream, 1 at Oaklawn, and then we'll have to decide if you want. We'll have to. So a couple at Gulfstream, Scotty, and the 1 at Oaklawn, and then we'll have to decide if you want to keep going for Santa Anita. But we can decide that. So let's go to Gulfstream.
Let me ask you a question real quickly. You guys are doing the stretch run show. How many of these fairground races are you covering during the stretch run? Any idea?
We're going to cover all of the stakes all the way from race 6, I believe.
Right. Okay. So it looks like Cindy that the guys are covering fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah. Cindy, we will. We're gonna start. We're gonna start right before race 6. Chris and I were talking earlier, but we're gonna cover like half the card. And there's also gonna be 3 Laurel Stakes we'll cover on the stretch run, and then there's some Gulfstream as well, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's about as much as we can do in that race. Okay, where are we going now?
Gulfstream race. Is it 6?
6.
Yes.
Yep. We got races 6 and 9 at Gulfstream Park. All right, let's go.
2 state breds. This is the Sunshine Turf.
Yep. $75,000 non-graded Florida breds, and they're going 8.5 furlongs. Jose's like, I don't trust Florandrew. Never. I'm with you, Jose. I'm with you. But it's hard when every race he's on the favorite. What do you think of this 5 horse? This 5 horse Victory Achieve is he the one to beat?
Nah, well, it's my 3rd pick, so I think has a shot. But I went elsewhere, Scotty.
Where'd you go?
I landed on Ninja Star. Partially, it's a little bit competitive there, and Irad ride for Kevin Rice, and I'm hoping to get a price with Irad, 6-1. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But This is a state bred, Scotty, but all these horses, none of them been running in state bred company. They all been running in open company,
Yeah.
elsewhere. So, but 154 and then a 64, hit the board in 13 of 19 tries. That wasn't too bad, last out at Tampa and 1-2 back at Tampa. So it was the favorite there on the rail, didn't necessarily break good. But gets Irad today. So you have the Irad factor. I mean, he gets on for the first time. I thought was a bit sneaky. And this horse, I think is a player here. I mean, it's 18%, and this is a very competitive turf race, Scotty, at Gulfstream. So I don't want anybody on the lead, but stalking behind, I think will be okay.
I'm actually impressed by what this one horse has been able to achieve with this, and also to Kevin Rice, who's been loyal to Rodriguez, to be honest with you. But now all of a sudden, first of all, this horse got boxed in its last race. So if you're wondering what happened, was 4 wide in the stretch, got boxed in early. It was very impressive. The horse broke 8th and still won this race against a 64 group, similar to today's. And on the stretch out, the horse is actually going up in GSR, and you can see its record's very good on the turf, and also going 8.5. And now, has been in the money in 13 of 19 races. So it's a very nice horse. And now you've got Irad aboard. I could absolutely see. And not only that, the horse is going to save ground, but also has tactical speed. I like that a lot. Victory Achieved is your top pick, but it's only 10% to win. And I can, and it's had the lead in every start. And let's look and see at the first call. It looks like it's going to have the lead again. So, this horse has got a lot of heart. You're going to have to catch it. But look, I mean, just a wall of them that are finishing, isn't it? Like, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it's a competitive one for sure.
But this horse, look, though. I mean, look. Okay. Dylan Davis is aboard. No question about it. And look, when you're sprinting on the synthetic, speed really holds. This horse broke on top in all of those races and won those races against easier. Was 65%, 57%, and 34%. Now the horse is 10% to win. I no way could choose this 5 horse on the change in surface and distance. Absolutely not. I don't care if the race simulator has it winning or not. I've got to try to beat a horse like this. You?
Yes. Yeah. That's why I went. It's a player, Rail going to be out, Dylan on the lead, stretching out. But no, I was looking for some, again, why land on the 1. So, and there's only 9 horses here. So it's not, you got to be, it's going to be hard to come from way back. But I think Irad going to put the 1 in a perfect spot off all this speed, Scotty, and just save ground. If we get anywhere close to 6-1, I would be highly impressed.
No, you're not going to. But look at first of all, this rail is 52 feet out, you guys. I mean, you can't, especially with 9 horses in the race. If there's a scratch or 2, maybe that'll help. But you better have some tactical speed, or else you're going to have to get a perfect trip and be way the best. And so there's a lot of horses closing. I still don't like the 5. With all those scenarios there, I don't like the 5. I'm trying to see.
Look at Bapio. That would be where, because I was 1-9-5, I believe. And, Bapio, nothing special. That's why I land on the 1, Scotty. It's a nice horse. Don't get me wrong, for Cassie and Edwin ride, but I just.
Now it draws an outside post.
Yeah.
And the 7's faster for sure. The 5 is faster. The 4 is faster. It's going to get a little bit of a wide trip. Let's look at the SOR. The SOR in the race, the 9 seems to have the class. The 1 has some class as well. I mean, you got to like the 1. And you've been on fire too, but the 1 certainly looks like the player, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. The Bluegrass Stan said Rice Ortiz is family. What's that mean, Bluegrass? But that's why I like the 1 a lot here, Scotty. I mean,
Dave likes the 1, so that's endorsing as well.
Yes, I love it, Dave. This is great news.
Right? I mean, they're all closing, but it's very difficult to close from so far back.
Oldie like the 6 Treasure King. I'm seeing.
What's wrong with Adios? I mean, this horse is 6-1 EE morning line in a tough race. You know?
I looked at that horse. Came out of Remington Park, right? For Sam Wallen.
Back, it won.
I mean,
it got disqualified from a win last time out. Gets a way better jockey. Way better. Look at the upgrade in jockey here. Let's see.
I mean, that's not a bad long shot play, Scotty. I mean, it really, I was trying to look at my notes. Yeah, it was DQ'd, gaff rides. I mean, has hit the board in 7 of 9 tries, and that's all these horses flocking. This is a nice kind of state bred turf because all these horses predominantly been racing, some of them elsewhere, some versus open company and everything. But
so if you look at this, how many times do we see this? You got the EquinEdge long shot. It's also the top win percentage and 6-1 on the EE morning line. It draws inside. Like how many times have we seen horses like this win? It's got decent enough speed to not be too far back.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yes. Yeah, I mean, not a bad long shot. I'm really surprised the one didn't appear in the picks, but the win percent's fine, so I don't really worry about it. That's where Scotty, the 2 is the top win percent. Do you see that? I just noticed that.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I mean. So Jose Ortiz is married to Rice Linda. Huh? To Linda Rice? Irad and Jose are all connected? To a Rice Linda. I'm going to assume Dan meant Linda Rice. He could be drinking. Well, we don't know. We're drinking.
All right, I'm on Ninja Star. Where you going to land on Adios Cole?
I'm on the 2. Yep, I like 2-1.
Oh, I think you might be right.
Jose is married to Kevin's sister?
Not married to Linda. A different Rice, which is probably Mark might be right.
Jose Ortiz is married to a Rice Linda. Gail Rice, that was married to Wayne Rice. There's a lot of Rices going around here. I have no idea. Yeah, exactly. We're doing the wrong show. We should be in Hollywood.
Hey, we are. We're in our own Hollywood.
Yeah, we are. All right. Okay, where are we going now? Hold on here.
9. I'm on the 1. Oldie was on the 6 somehow, and you're on the. Are you going 2? You're going 2.
Oh, we're going to race number 9. Okay, hold on here. That's right. We were on race number 6. Now we're on race number 9. Are there any Rices in here we should be aware of?
No, not this one.
Okay.
There's lots of Saffies.
There's a lot of Saffies. That's a good point. 3 Saffies. 3 Saffies. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
okay. Chris had to drop off.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right. All right.
There's a comedy town here in this race.
Let's run the race.
Oh, I'm remembering this one now. Man.
The Bravo channel. It's not TLC. What is it called? I'm drawing a blank on that. What is that Hollywood show that they're always talking about all the
Hallmark?
Huh?
Hallmark channel?
No,
Hallmark
not
channel?
Hallmark. That's Hallmark is my life. Those are all the feel-good movies or movies and stuff like that. Where the tear jerkers where you're crying all night long.
Or the love stories. Like
TMZ. Thank you, Dan. No, TMZ.
Oh, TMZ.
Yeah. Matt was with TLC. He wants some tender love and care. Give me the TMZ. That's a lot more fun.
Yeah, the Learning Channel. Scotty thought you meant tender love and care. You thinking Learning Channel.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, here we go. Where were we?
Safi Joseph trying to win the race here because he has half the field. But Belmont is in here as well. Nah, it was between the Safis to me, Scotty. The top two.
Don't even bring up 90 Day Fiance, Matt, because that's when Anna, my fiance, that's when we'll get her watching for sure. She absolutely loves that show. I don't get it. I don't get it. Can somebody please explain the fascination with these with that? I don't get it. Have you ever seen it?
No, I don't know. Yeah,
Don't.
90 Day Fiance. I've never seen
90 Day Fiance. This is where you take people that want to go and move to the United States, and so they basically will do whatever it takes. I mean, whatever it takes to come to the United States. And so, like who's Gino? Who's the other one? Jasmine? Gino and Jazz. Oh my God, that one. Woof.
Mike Soletta say he watch it.
Oh, Mike does too. Oh my God, I think it's Gino and Jasmine. Okay, you got to look that up. I mean, that one is just poor Gino.
Bluegrass Dan just said it's stupid.
No, it is. You know what's so funny? I'm like, I get so mad at her for watching it. Then I find myself watching the damn thing. I'm like, it's terrible. Yeah. Gino and Jasmine. Okay, yeah. Oh, Gino and Jasmine. Oh my God, these poor that poor bastard has no shot. Oh no. Gino, what did she say? Gino, I want your meat. Gino, I want your meat. Right? Is that what she said? That's what she said to him? Oh my God, it's so funny. Where did he get these people?
I was curious in this race, classified the GSR is so low, Scotty. 55.
They actually, that's what Matt should do. Matt, they need an attorney for sure. They all need an attorney. I'm sorry, go ahead. I got lost a little bit, Justin. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Maybe we should do a show, 90 Day Losers.
Gotta come up with something better than that.
Okay.
Love after lockup.
Hey, we get a lot of people in the chat room. 90 Day Losers. Oh, this is what you should do. I don't know. We got to think about that one.
Well, I mean, there's the race sim, Scotty. You have a Safi Joseph 1 horse with Jose Ortiz. You have a Safi Joseph 3 horse in Comedy Town with DVD, who's found a new home at Gulfstream. He departed California. And then you have Damon's Mound, the 7 for Belmont.
Yeah. And this one needs to be near the lead for its best. Let's see the pace scenario. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's a rough post for the 7, Scotty. With all that speed, was my concern on the 7.
Yeah, no, I pass. Only 19% to win. Now we have to see the style of the 1, 3, and 6. The 1 horse on the inside. I know it rated last time out, but it was against an easier group. I mean, maybe it can rate. Maybe it's turned a corner. It was 39% to win. Look what it did in the last couple of starts prior to that. And it disappointed and burned money. I had mixed feelings about this horse. 7 second-place finishes. You know what happens sometimes, Justin, when horses win a race, sometimes people get caught up in that. You know what I mean? Because on paper, but everything seemed to set up perfectly for this horse last time out. Now the SOR goes up. The win percentage drops. GSR stays the same, but it's pretty much almost everything you're looking to play against. The 3 horse is 40%. It can rate. It raced in a great suit last time, and it is coming off a layoff. But I would imagine that this 3 horse is a horse you have to watch.
Look at what that horse has done since Safi claimed it. I mean, this horse, Scotty, was running a 25,000 claimer over on the Tapeta at Gulfstream, and Safi claims, and this horse wins an allowance and then back-to-back stakes, drops into a grade 2 all of a sudden and runs 3rd.
Well,
so I went with Comedy Town. Just so you know, Scotty, it was my top pick.
Well, look, and the horse is coming. he thought enough of this horse to send this horse to Keeneland in a grade 2. Like, that's pretty amazing, right? Now the horse is, back here at Gulfstream Park, where it's won its last 3 races here at Gulfstream on the dirt. Draws inside, going 6 furlongs. It can rate. What I like about it, look at the first call, it can be on the lead, but it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Right. So I like that. And then the 6 horse Mish. This one clearly needs to be on or near the lead for its best. Tyler Gaffleone's aboard. Let's see here. Man, you have any tougher races?
Thanks, Dustin.
Right? What'd Dustin say?
He's jet now.
Oh, he's got to go. All right, Dustin. We'll see you later.
I just thought the 7 can kind of be hung out there wide. Irad probably live on the 1, but this horse, Safi made this horse into a completely different horse on the 3. I don't know why it's stopping. Just had a little break and, now coming back to get it.
Jockey trainer combination. Look at Irad Ortiz and Safi are 32%.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Safi was taking Van Dyke off of this horse because he's had luck with Van Dyke. So otherwise, I think Irad would have been aboard the horse. So he put Irad on the next best horse. I don't know. It looks obviously the 1 horse can rate some. It's a tough race. Like, look how this race is going to be run. I don't know. And then if they let the 7 go, then the 7 could win. Like, it looks like any number of ways this race can be run. And it doesn't look like the 5 is closing a little bit, Justin, to make that's very interesting at a price maybe. But it's not the EquinEdge long shot. That's what's interesting. How's the 4 horse the EquinEdge long shot? But it seems to need the lead for its best. Again, the EquinEdge metrics aren't looking at pace, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but no, that's not entirely fair. You have to choose that. It actually helps to kind of know that, which makes me actually not like the 4 that much. But horses also don't come from far back here on this track, as you know.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Speed at Gulfstream's tough. Yes.
So I definitely don't like the 8. Look, this 5 is going to be further back than what it was here at Tampa Bay Downs. And in the race here, it was 2.5 lengths back against a 62 group. I don't like the 5 either, honestly, at all.
I cut the 5.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't like the 8. I don't like this. 6 horse needs the lead, and it's going to be in between horses. And it's dropping big time in win percentage. Gaffleone jumps aboard, but why Irad's not on this horse. So he must have had the choice, and he got off of the 6 horse after winning last time out. So I don't like the 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these horses, and most likely the 7's going to be up against it because it rated here, Justin, against the 72 group at Parks. It actually is a grade 2 winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we're not giving enough love to this horse. We need to relook at this. But the horse has not run in all of 2024.
That was versus tougher, right? So if you look at those last 2 efforts for Damon's Mount, Scotty, that definitely was much tougher company. So yeah, I do worry a little bit outside with speed that the 3 going to be able to sit or the 1 inside, but I'm with you. It's between those 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, one of these 3 is winning the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing I worry about again with the 7 is just that layoff, but it can rate. And it's been, look at it, it was in the Malibu grade 1. That was a 78 group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can't hold that against it. And now Mott takes over, and Mott is like what, 20% first off the layoff and 18% with first time horses. So it looks like this horse is training very nicely as well. So I don't know. This is I think who's going to get the trip. Even when you look at the finish, look at this. They're all within 3/4 of a length of each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And look at these 3 horses also have 73% of the win, right? Is that what 40, 64, 74, actually 83%.
Mm-hmm.
So 83% chance of winning this race with these 3 horses. I mean, I don't know which one's going to win. I couldn't choose this. Who are you going with?
I put the 3 on top.
Okay. Yeah, I can't.
Oldie put the 3 as well.
Boldy did too.
Yeah.
I would say this: who gets the best trip in this race?
The 1 or the 3?
No, in my opinion, the 7, because it sits right there off the speed. It can be on the lead, but doesn't have to be. So the 1 and the 3 could be dueling with the 6, and the 7 just sits right there in a perfect position.
It's got 3 horses to its inside, but
no, but it's tactical, and it's the class of the field as well. Look, it's got the top SOR. The 3 horse is going to be in between speed. Now it's fast and it can rate, but what's it going to do? It's going to have to not check up, or it's going to have to like lay back a little bit. Whereas the 7 just cruises on the outside without having to worry about checking up or anything like that, or any speed outside. It doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
I mean, I do like, and I'm sure, well, we're at about 2 hours, but I do like the drop in SOR. You might change my opinion on the 7, to be honest, and go against Safi with Belmont. But yeah, I don't know yet.
I'm going to go with the 7. I think that only for the reasons that the 7 horse is going to get a perfect trip. And what do we know about Belmont? Unless this horse is ready to run, Belmont's not bringing it back. He's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
no, I'd agree.
And
yes.
Look, he finds a perfect spot for this horse. Look, he could have run this horse anywhere. What does he do? He brings this horse to Florida. Why does he bring the horse to Florida? Because it's a Florida bred.
No, yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. Where all these state bred. It's a perfect spot. They're very smart to drop this horse into state bred. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's been facing open company this entire time. Now it gets a better trainer. It gets a great post. It's won $700,000 almost. It sits an outside post. And I mean, look at the fields it's been facing. This is like, not only is this only a $75,000 non-graded stakes race, but it's also a state bred.
Yeah. You're convincing me, I think.
Right. And then look at the.
Do you see? Oh yeah, Dave's comment. November 5th work.
Yeah, but I don't see a November 5th work, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't either. Huh.
That is I mean, it's a long way off, no doubt about it. But I think this horse is probably going to be ready to run. This is not, look at this. You're talking about a horse like the 7 that's been running in these kind of races. I mean, really look at the 1 closely. It's been burning money. It draws the rail with a bunch of other speed. I mean, when you look, just look on paper, there's no comparison between the 7 and the 1. None. Except Irad's aboard the 1.
Well, right. And then the 7's coming off a layoff. So I get, you have.
No, I'm just talking about on paper. The class of the 7 dominates in here.
Yes. Yeah.
The 3 horses really come along, no doubt about it. But why the layoff? I don't know. It's an interesting. Why the layoff? So, all right, my man, we did good. We covered a lot of races, 2 hours. We probably could have covered a lot more, but then, it was good.
We just have fun. We appreciate you all in the chat. It's always good to chat, Scott, and I love handicapping with you. So
it's so good.
Yeah.
So, what are you playing this weekend besides Fairground? Anything any horse you're looking to?
I might look at, no, I'm not sure. I might look at Santa Anita though, just with West Coast racing. But you
gotta love Matt. Matt's like, keep going, just talk about random bullshit.
I know, but I'm praying for, I know, a lot, we're thinking that as races are going to come off the turf at Fairgrounds, but I'm praying they stay on. So
for sure.
I got to do some work on tomorrow's card. It's only 8 races, so that's good. We're halfway through Saturday because I've already handicapped those. So it fits perfect.
Yeah. as soon as we hang up, I'm going to take about a 10-minute break, and then I'm going to start handicapping. I haven't made up my mind. Am I gonna do notes for Santa Anita tomorrow or Gulstream Park?
Wait, before well, I'll let you decide that, but probably Gulfstream, but you need to look at the race with Sarkis before we go.
Oh. All right. Yeah, okay, we can do that. Let's do that.
Saturday? Sarkis running Saturday?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Oh, well, I love when there's great stuff to watch on a Friday.
So
Tampa.
here's a horse that I bought using the GSRs. And they're okay, it's a long story, but the progeny predictor had this horse in the 80s, but then the progeny of Vino Rosso took a dump. Justin, I mean, they just did. Like, none of these horses are winning. And so the GSRs dropped on this horse big time. He's training really great. You can see he ran very good, and he wants longer. But this group came up a lot tougher. I was blown away, as you know, yesterday when we were having our meeting, and I saw he was the top EquinEdge pick. I was like, I don't even know how that happened. Because the field that he faced last time out really, honestly, was not all that great. And there's some interesting horses in here. Like, you got the big boys in here. You got Chad Brown. You got Todd Fletcher. McGahee's in there. You know, I mean, it's a little intimidating, to be honest with you.
And there's a Sonny Leone, Eric Reed horse that's 2-1 on the EE morning line.
Yeah, I mean,
game day. Remember game day?
Oh yeah, from a 12-1 odds makers morning line. I watched this race too, by the way, and the horse broke 10 and came flying on the rail, and just was a huge effort. And the only thing, and I told you guys this yesterday. Look, there's a big difference between a 6 furlong race and closing and finishing, and 8 and 8 and 3/16. There's a big difference. And so, but this horse is going to get bet because of that effort, no question about it. But I don't think this horse has to win because of the distance change. I don't. And you might be asking yourself, well, why did they put the horse in a race like this? Well, I mean, it could be because they think the horse wants longer, no doubt about it. You can see that it looks like the horse wants longer, but you'd be surprised how many horses like this burn money. But the biggest reason why a horse could end up in here, just like us, is that they're between Gulfstream Park, between a lot of the major tracks right now, which is really scary. I don't even want to get into it in this show, but it's a really scary because there's not a lot in the condition books for owners and trainers. They're struggling. And so, like, we were going to scratch out of this race because we felt like maybe the race came up too tough, if I'm being honest. But then, like, we go look at what's at Gulfstream Park running, what's here at Tampa, and there's nothing.
Yeah, well, when we went through it, it's just there's a lot of question marks on a lot of these big name trainers that have horses in here, Scotty. And then you see this horse of game day, which, you know, you can kind of go back and forth, and lands here too, right? But I don't know. I don't, the big morning line, Irad's riding the 2, but the system doesn't like that horse really at all on the morning line, even though it has speed, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it doesn't. But it is stretching out as well, and it has speed. Irad's aboard. But look at Sarkis. So he ran really good, no doubt about it. And the thing about it, what I can tell you about Sarkis, you got to make your own call. What I can tell you is the workouts going into this first race, Kathleen wasn't working him out hard. She was really more focused on the gate workouts. So, I mean, and he was training nicely, but he wasn't training against great horses. But the horses he was training against, he was beating them fairly easily. And so he has, I would imagine he's going to improve 5-10 lengths off of that last race. And they went very fast early on, as you know, in that 7 furlong race. I think they went like 21 and change. It was crazy.
Yes.
And 44 and change.
Yes.
So, and he was right there with those horses. The one thing is he's got tactical speed in this field, and it's tougher, and we expect him to improve, but will that improvement be enough to beat a field like this? Because there's some interesting horses. I mean, you got, like I said, you got Timely Decision here for Chad Brown. I mean, this horse ran at Aqueduct, ran a nice race. I mean, who knows what this horse is gonna, he might improve a ton as well. We don't know. But again, a lot of the reasons why horses are coming up here to Tampa Bay is because they can't find the right race to run in over at Gulfstream Park or vice versa. I also think that this horse is up here too because during this time of year, Justin, as you probably already know, the competition, the big boys are at Gulfstream Park running, and you better be damn good if you're going to even try to win a race in a maiden special weight down at Gulfstream Park this time of year. It's not easy. So a lot of times they'll send sometimes you see some tough horses running in these races up here at Tampa, but most of the time it's usually their second and third in the stable. So I don't know. But anyways,
I think you got a shot. I'm excited to watch it. I really do. I just think there's questions on, many of these others.
Yeah, and the race simulator, it again, I was blown away when I saw this, but it has Sarkis winning the race, and then the picks had Sarkis, but the morning line doesn't love Sarkis. The win percentage is that.
But you like to see 6-1 versus 18 or versus 8-1. I mean, that's 25% less. I mean, just from that perspective, I mean, if the E community probably wasn't all over this, you probably get 6 or 8-1. We'll have to see. But I mean, all those other horses just kind of back up, So
yeah, that was but the field it faced last time out was just not a strong field. I mean, it was not strong. I mean, these are way different animals. He will have to improve in order to win the race. And he might. Like I said, Kathleen, in my mind, she wouldn't say this probably, but for me, if I'm, just from what I saw in how he was trained, he was not really trained to win first time out, in my opinion. I'm not saying he wasn't fit. I don't mean that at all, because Kathleen is just very hot right now. She's doing great at both Gulfstream Park and especially Tampa. But and so I'm cautiously optimistic that he will at least improve. Whether that's going to be good enough to beat this field, I genuinely have no idea. So, all right,
we'll find out. All right, brother.
Well, that was fun. And tomorrow morning, you guys, hopefully you can join us. It's going to be a lot of fun with 2022 NHC champ David Harrison and Silver Sunday champ. And thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate it. And Mark, it was great to have you in the chat. Matt, thanks for being there as usual. And then also Brad was in there, and just everybody, Bluegrass Dan, and the amazing community, which is EquinEdge. So appreciate you guys, everybody. Have a wonderful night, okay? And tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m., me and David Harrison. We'll see you there.